Hello, hello, everyone. Today we're going over the proven steps to six-figure business success. Are you tired? Are you tired of working endless hours without seeing the financial rewards you deserve? Today, I'm going to reveal the secrets to adding at least 100,000 to your bottom line while cutting your work week in half. So, stick with me, and by the end of this video, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And I just realized that I don't have my microphone plugged in, so let's fix that. All right, that probably sounds a little bit better. Anyway, I'm Heather Blaise. I've spent over 20 years helping business owners like you build multi-million dollar empires. I've run my Boost You business and the Fast Track to Money Blueprint program since 2018. So how long is that now? 2004. Wow, 6 years, going over 6 years. And I've been helping countless entrepreneurs like coaches, consultants, experts in their field achieve financial freedom for themselves and their families, their lives, making huge impacts in the world. And my clients have seen remarkable success from doubling to 10xing their prices and attracting ideal clients to making six-figure incomes, double-digit months, amazing months, while working less. One of my clients is only working 2 days a week, which is pretty amazing. So today I'm here to help you do the same. And we're going to cover 3 crucial steps. One is how to streamline your business for maximum efficiency. The other is the automation tools that will help free up your time. And the third is how to position yourself as the go-to expert in your industry through all the noise. There's so much noise out there. How do you stand out? How do you position yourself to be that go-to so they go to you instead of somebody else? So stay tuned because each step is essential to achieving your ultimate lifestyle. So let's dive into the importance of streamlining your operation. Inefficiencies in your business are costing you big time. They're costing you time, they're costing you money, which ultimately costs you your freedom. So, for instance, I had a client Lori, who doubled her prices in just 4 weeks of us working together. And she started attracting her ideal clients by streamlining her operations and positioning herself as the go to in her field. So she was a yogini when we were working together. So she helped train yoga instructors to become yoga instructors. And I believe she was charging about $2,500 at the time when we first started working together. So she had an offer. She had some clients coming in, which was good, but she was struggling. She told me she was struggling big time and she just wasn't sure how she could position herself as the go-to. She wasn't sure how, her clients could afford a higher price because there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just doubling your price from 2,500 to 5,000 and people will come flocking. No, there's a way to do it. There's a way to structure it, and there's a way to communicate the value around it so that people ultimately think that it's a bargain. But it also positions you as the go-to, as an expert when you've got these higher prices. Like psychologically, it kind of sets you apart, right? People think automatically, oh, they must be better. Just kind of like like a Louis Vuitton purse versus a purse from Target type of thing, right? They perceive quality. Of course, you got to deliver on that and you got to be able to communicate that where people have to perceive that value ahead of time so they'd be willing to pay for it, right? And a lot of people don't raise their prices because they think, well, nobody can afford it. Sometimes they think that because sometimes they're living from their perspective. If you've got a business or you haven't made a lot of money before, maybe you think other people don't have a lot of money, but you don't know. You don't know what's in their purse right now. They could have $5,000 cash in their purse right now. You don't know, right? So don't assume that people have the same amount of money that you do or that they would only pay a certain amount for something, right? When you communicate the value effectively, people will pay for it. People want a result. That's the ultimate thing. They want that ultimate result. And if they believe that you're the one that can get them that result, they will find the money. If there's a will, there's a way, right? But if your operations aren't streamlined, it's really hard to communicate the value effectively. So, and you're kind of just guessing and throwing stuff up on the wall to see what sticks. So you really need to be really clear on what you're offering, how to communicate it effectively, and then you also need you need your operations streamlined to get the right people finding you, calling you, and paying you consistently. Because what that does is that gives you a sense of confidence as well. So when you go to deliver that price, you there's a confidence behind it. There's a knowing behind it. There's a lot that goes into it. So, and I could go deep on that, but we're not going to go deep on that right now. So, just a personal story about me and how I used to operate before my operations were streamlined. Before I was charging a lower price, it was when I was first getting started. So I was actually before 2018. I think I launched at the end of 2018. So this was beforehand. I was still kind of piecing everything together, taking all my knowledge, all my wisdom, all my expertise from the 20 years previous of helping business owners succeed and multi-million-dollar companies succeed, and putting this offer together, right? Which is what I help my clients do now. But before I had it all together, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to charge $500 for my first 5 people. And before I streamlined my operations or figured out how to set up the systems to get the right people finding and calling me and paying me for my coaching business, I was going to meetups through meetup.com and organizing my own meetups. So I was targeting health and wellness professionals at the time. So I started a group for health and wellness professionals, and we'd meet once a week. I'd find a babysitter because I was a single mom at the time. I'd go to the event, I'd find an event for us to meet at. I'd make sure, email everybody, okay, we're meeting at this time, this place, bring this type of thing, kind of figure out what are we going to do to lead the event type of thing. And it took a lot of time and energy. And I think, I don't even know if I almost got one client from it, but I wasn't really honed in on, again, I wasn't clear on how to communicate the value effectively of what I was offering. So I didn't get that prospect, even though he was kind of curious about it. But I ended up getting one client, and I don't think it was from the one I organized. I think I met this person at a different meetup that I'd gone to, like a networking meetup for I think it was called Happy Healthy Women. That's what it was. And I met her through there, and then we met outside of there. I think she did come to one of my meetups as well. She ended up becoming my first client at $500, and I was but I didn't do all 5. I dropped it at 1 because I figured out I'm undercharging, I'm undervaluing myself. Like I had a lot to offer. I was getting amazing results. So that only lasted for one person. And then I was also sending out emails manually. I didn't have a system, and it was really, really costing me a lot of time and a lot of money. That went on for months. Then I figured out how to create enough value to charge a premium. I mean, I had already created a lot of value to be able to charge more than 500 because she made a ton of money with that. And then I also, or with what I gave her initially, and I thought, wow, $500 for all the stuff that she made, like it was way undervalued. So anyway, and then I created a simple process to get cold leads, right? Through like just browsing on Facebook, using ads, using post to stop, read, click on that link, and which led them to an automated video presentation that I now call a valuable free offer. And then from there to booking a call. So what a valuable free offer does is it really does a lot of heavy lifting. It positions me or my clients, because I use it with them too. I show them how to do it. It positions them as the go-to. It's structured in a way, very specific way. There's a formula to it. We got to we spend weeks figuring out what words are going to really resonate with the ideal client to plug in there. And we use AI actually to plug in. We take the formula and it spits out every slide for it, but we know exactly what goes on there based on their knowledge, their wisdom, their expertise, their offer, their ideal client, and what would really resonate deeply with them. And what it does is it weeds out people that we wouldn't want to book a call and spend time with and, talking and wasting time. And it also brings in the really high quality leads that we would that would typically buy. So 80% of the people that end up on the call are pretty much ready to buy. through going through the presentation and going through all the steps that we put in place. And so, and then it established them as the expert because they're able to communicate throughout that their expertise. And it's not about them. Okay. It's a subliminal thing that happens because we do so much research ahead of time to figure out what to put in there, that it really positions them as the go-to because they're able to communicate their value effectively and describe their ideal client's problem, desire, solution, what they're thinking about better than they can. So they feel like, wow, this person really gets me. This person really knows me. And then we also get really clear on what the value is that they offer, so that it helps them stand out against that competition, against all the information, all the noise that's out there, and leads them to booking a call, all on autopilot. Which leads me to our next thing that we're going to talk about, which is the top automation tools that we use to do this, to execute this. So real quick though, the simple strategy, streamlining the operations, should go from, total stranger to seeing a post or an ad, to clicking on that link, to going through that valuable free offer on autopilot, and then booking a call. Simple, quick, easy. They could literally become a client within 24 to 48 hours from seeing your post or your ad. So anyway, let's move on and explore the top automation tools that can handle repetitive tasks so that, again, we're more streamlined. Automation isn't just for these super tech savvy business owners. It's for anyone who wants to reclaim their time. So tools like CRM system, which is a customer relations management tool, I believe. You can correct me in the comments if you want. I always forget what the CRM stands for, but I think it's customer relations management tool, customer relationship management tool, maybe. Anyway, it's an automated tool that streamlines your whole business. It includes email marketing software. Typically, it should. There's some that are outside of that. You can keep it separate, but I'm going to tell you in a minute. The one that I use that has everything, and it also has scheduling apps, right? These things, it just can automate your tasks that typically take up hours of the day. So this way you can really focus on what truly matters, which is growing your business and serving your clients on that deeper level. So it does things like sending DMs, I can send DMs for you automatically versus doing it manually. Or let's say, I don't know what your marketing strategy is currently, but I see a lot of people out there cold DMing people versus running ads. So if you're running ads, that's streamlining versus out there, cold DMing people, which can be kind of annoying as well. There's so many different strategies out there, but really the running the ads to either a DM or to booking or to your VFO, like I said, or straight to booking a call. You could do it that way as well. But again, if you're doing it straight to booking a call, then there's a lot of heavy lifting that needs to be done that a valuable free offer could do. Anyway, another thing that really saves time with the automation, instead of going to networking events, again, running ads. That's like something to save time. It's running 24/7. You don't have to drive to these networking events. Some of them you have to pay for. You sit there, you talk for a couple hours or an hour or whatever in hopes and pass out your business card and maybe somebody will. I used to do this, so I totally get it, but I'm so glad that I found a better way and that I don't have to do that anymore. I can just, I'm running ads while I sleep. And then I wake up to DMs. I woke up to DMs this morning, or I wake up to calls on my calendar or whatever. Like it's all done on autopilot. So it doesn't take me any time. I don't have to take time away from my son or, I can go do yoga or go for a walk or hang out, enjoy myself without having to spend hours and hours on ineffective marketing. Anyway, another way automation can help is, having the calendar link, like going back and forth with someone to find a time that works to get them on your calendar. I just actually went through this today with somebody who reached out to me for doing YouTube ads, or not YouTube ads. They want to help me grow my YouTube channel. But we went back and forth on a time. And I'm just like, this is so inefficient. Just give me a calendar link and let's go. But anyway, he did a really nice presentation and sent it to me. And so I was impressed with the presentation. I mean, it was time consuming for him, I'm sure, but he did a good job with what he sent me. Cause I think I've had lots of people do that, but his kind of stood out. So anyway, he seems talented. I'm going to give him a shot, but he could have saved a lot of time with what I'm telling you here. But using that CRM that sends automatic texts also to remind people of their appointments, or maybe you're having a live workshop, but you want to send people emails and texts and stuff on autopilot. So you can set up these automated workflows. And then again, having that valuable free offer running on autopilot. An evergreen webinar is my favorite because you can set the time that you have it. People sign up, it goes. Again, autopilot. I've been using the same one for, I don't know, 6 years now. So the bottom line is automation can save a lot of time and a lot of money too, because again, if you're wasting all your time doing this other stuff, you're not focusing on what you really need to be focusing on, which is making money, building your business, growing your business, talking to people that are already primed and ready to go to enroll them, and serving your clients, serving them on a deep level. That's what you need to be spending your time on. And then also time for self-care so that you can be your best self to serve others. So what I use tools like Zapier. I don't know if you've ever heard of Zapier, but Zapier is great. It basically helps two things talk to each other. So a lot of times there's integrations already in the program. So for example, Entreport, you could integrate with Stealth Seminar. Those two speak to each other. They both recognize each other. They've built it into their systems, but sometimes a certain task, I'm trying to think of one that I'm using Zapier for right now. um, they don't have the capability to integrate with it. So I'm trying to think. Oh, okay. When I was using HubSpot, because I've moved on from HubSpot, it's too expensive for me to justify it. Anyway, the HubSpot wasn't. I tried this video AI thing, kind of like greeting. So when people booked a call, it was like a quick little, hey, I saw you booked a call, and it kind of, I don't know, it didn't really work, but it was something I wanted to try. But anyway, that, whatever it was called, I can't remember, didn't integrate with HubSpot. So I had sent it to, when somebody books a call, it would trigger to Zapier and then go to that AI video, whatever it was, greeting thing. So that's an example of what it does. And it does a lot of things. It can do spreadsheets. It can do a lot of stuff that just don't integrate together. So what else? So I use Zapier. I use Go High Level. That's my newest, greatest, amazing thing, because I used to use MailChimp, which I hate. It's terrible. There's terrible support, in my opinion. I used to use Calendly, and then I switched to Schedule Once. I used to use Entreport. That's what I used to start with, but that was so glitchy, and it broke down so many times that I just was like, I'm done. So then I found HubSpot, which was amazing. I loved HubSpot, but it was costing $1,500 a month, I think it was, and did everything and could have done more, but it was going up and up and up based on the contacts I have, right? I've been doing this for 6 years. I got a lot of contacts, and every time it would like go up and up when I got another 1,000, you know what I mean? So it just got too expensive. And then I was also using Woohoo forms. So all these separate things, right? And then I had to go to all these separate places too. I guess HubSpot could have done the forms and done some other things. But anyway, I switched over to Go High Level, which I love, 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 love. It's $150 a month. And I've also been able to build it out for my clients so that all they need to do is attach their calendar, attach like their Google Calendar, attach their domain name, and everything's built out for them. All the automations, all the emails. I've got the email templates. They just have to edit them, and all the workflows. Everything's done. They don't have to build it out. The landing pages, if they want to do their website on there, everything is on there. They can host their website on there, or that's the other one I use is Stealth Seminar, which is like um, an evergreen webinar where you can set the time, you can see all the analytics. That's what I really like about that one. But other than that, those are, I think, the only three that I use now: Zapier, Go High Level, Stealth Seminar, and Lead Pages. I love Lead Pages too. I mean, I guess I could bring my forms over and all that and do my landing pages on Go High Level, but I already had them all built out on Lead Pages, so I just left them there. But anyway, those are the ones I recommend. And a good success story around this of one of my clients is, to illustrate the impact of automation and that what it can do for your business is for my one client, Orit, when she first started with me, she had nothing. She had an idea. She had an expertise in helping parents as an advocate for their children that are neurodivergent. They don't fit into the learning system of the schools. And before she came on with me, she didn't have an offer. She didn't know how to communicate the offer effectively, anything like that. So we built out an offer that she was charging last time I talked to her, $5,000. And again, it sounds expensive, but when it's all relative. So for example, one parent had to quit their job. They were making $100,000 a year at this job. They had to quit because they were dealing with all the stuff that a REIT could help with their child. So once a REIT stepped in, that person could go and get their $100,000 job back, right? So you can see the difference. Like $5,000 to make $100,000, it's a bargain. It's a no-brainer. So that's what I mean. We position it in such a way that it ends up being a bargain. But anyway, when she started, again, she had nothing. So we built out her whole system. And now, again, she runs ads. She knows how to optimize them in order to make sure that they are qualified leads. They watch her valuable free offer and they book calls. They fill up her calendar. She speaks to these parents. She helps these parents, and her business is doing great. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. Or let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And if you also want me to know who you are and give you a shout out, you can say your name because I can't see your name. But the next one is building your personal brand. So talking about building your personal brand and why it's the key to attracting high ticket clients, positioning yourself as an industry leader, it's not just about having a great product or service. It's about, again, we're going back to this over and over again. It's about communicating your value effectively. So one more example, my client, Mary Rose, is a great example of this. So she came to me, she was a health and wellness expert. She had nothing as well. So before she came to me, she wanted to do this. She loves it. She's passionate about it. She really wanted to impact people with their health and their wellness. And so she came on board with me. Again, we created an outline of what her high ticket program would be. And she learned how to clearly communicate the value around it so well that within 7 weeks of working together, she ended up collecting 6 deposits. What was it? Between 550 and 1100. So I don't know how much each one of them was, but she went from absolute zero to just having an outline of her program, her course that she was going to be leading people to take them from their current situation, unhealthy to healthy. She collected those deposits for her pilot program. So, and then what she did is she took those 6 people and she led them through it as she created the content. So she didn't wait and wait and wait and wait and create the content and wait and wait and wait and wait to make money. We put together an outline. Okay. And I think the outline was completed within 4 or 5 weeks. And she started selling it. She started selling it because she knew what she had an idea already, and we had the outline already, and she felt confident enough to be able to bring people through those, and which is fine. Okay. That's a big thing. I don't want you to wait all the time. Wait. A lot of people stay stuck in waiting. I get emails all the time or and calls all the time and people are like, I just want to create my program first. I just want to do this first. And then 6 months later I check back, I'm like, is it done? you know? And I'm actually thinking of putting together a really cool thing where we can get the outline of your program completed in like 2 hours. 2 hours using AI. I think I figured it out. We can use AI. So actually put in the comments here if you would be interested in something like that. If your offer isn't together, you're not really sure how to put your offer together, how to take your knowledge, your wisdom, your expertise, and help an ideal client. If you're not really clear on who your ideal client is either, we can incorporate that into it. But I was thinking of putting something together where we put the whole program together in 2 hours. We could do like a live workshop or something like that for a really low cost. I was thinking maybe. Anyway, put it in the comments if you're interested in something like that, and I will work on it and put it together. But another example of this is Jane. Okay, she was an interior designer. And again, within 5 weeks, I think it was 5 weeks of working together, she secured her first $10,000 client by, again, refining her personal brand and messaging as an interior designer. And before that, she told me she was lucky if she got a $2,000 client for her design work. So the importance of branding in attracting high ticket clients. When I say branding, I mean being clear on what you offer your clients specifically. Because if you're not clear, how are you going to describe it to people? Right? How are you going to describe to people why you're different, why your offer is any different than what's already out there? How are you going to create your copy for your posts and your marketing, right? I mean, you got to do some marketing because that's where we're at these days. People can't find you. They're not just going to automatically, magically go to your website. Okay. You build a website, they will come. Those days are gone. So, you got to create compelling copy that really deeply resonates to lead your ideal clients to the sale. These prospects, these strangers, how are they going to call you? Where's your next client going to come from? If you don't know how to do that, that's a major, major problem. And you need to reach out to me. Okay. So, how are you going to get them to ultimately buy? Okay. And it all starts from that first moment that they see you. You got to lead them down a path towards you to get them to ultimately buy. And there's a lot that goes into that. So, if you're kind of spinning your wheels, if you feel stuck, if you feel you're like hoping and praying and guessing someone's going to magically find you, or you're relying on referrals and you're in this feast or famine mode, you need to reach out to me. You can either DM me, post in the comments here, I'll get notified, and myself or one of my team will reach out to you and hook you up. Okay. So anyway, 5 tips to really help you craft a powerful brand narrative is: 1, you got to know your audience, really understand on a deep level their needs, their desires. Your brand story should really resonate deeply with your target audience's needs, their desires, their pain points as well. So you got to do some really deep market research to understand what motivates them. And this is something that me and my clients will spend uh, definitely the first 2 weeks, but it's ongoing. I think it can last like 3, 4, 5 weeks to get really deep on this. You got to speak their language. You got to use language, words specifically that, and references that your audience can relate to. Right. This creates a really a deeper connection, and it makes your story more engaging. The second thing is you got to define your brand's purpose. So highlight your mission. Clearly articulate your brand's mission and the values it stands for. This gives your audience a reason to care about your story. Okay, why you? Showcase your unique value. What is it? Explain what makes your brand unique, you unique, why customers should choose you over over the competition. We go really deep on this, guys. Like, this is like people do their first draft. I've never seen anybody get their mission statement right with me. I give them all the ways to do it and the steps to do it, and they do their best. Maybe I've seen one I was like, wow, that was impressive. They got it on the first thing, and it's just one sentence, but a lot goes into it. And then we've got a whole paragraph for themselves. But it's like this one sentence that really needs to resonate deeply with the ideal client. And it all stems from there. Everything else stems from that mission. And that's what we would use too if I do that workshop. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So number three is incorporating emotional elements. So share personal stories. People connect with people, not just products. So share your personal anecdotes or your experiences that really highlight your brand's journey. Create that emotional connection. Use storytelling techniques that evoke emotions such as joy or inspiration, empathy, or even sadness. Sometimes I get people on the phone and they're crying. My last call I had, she was like, "Oh my God, that really deeply hit me. Like nobody's ever said that to me, or nobody's ever noticed that about me. Nobody's ever noticed," I think is probably the best thing. And she's like, "I feel like I want to cry." And I'm like, "Go ahead if you need to cry." It does happen quite a bit on our calls because I really go deep. I really uncover like what's going on. Why are you having these symptoms? Why are you experiencing these symptoms? Right. And when I say symptoms, I mean for me and my ideal clients, it's like, why are you not attracting your ideal clients? Like, let's get to the bottom of it. What's happening really? Like, what are you missing? What have you maybe done backwards? What's going on in your mindset? Because if we're coming from like a scarcity mindset or what I call an employee mindset that we've been programmed with our whole lives, it's going to resonate out. You get back what you resonate out. So if you're in scarcity, guess what you're going to get back? Scarcity. If you're in trading your time for money, or you're thinking you're in lack, like you can't charge more, like I was talking about earlier, guess what you're going to get back? You're going to be discounting, you're going to be begging and desperate and all this stuff, right? These things need to get cleared up in order to succeed, in order to scale. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So sadness. But she wasn't sad. She was actually happy. I mean, she was sad, but she was happy because we finally uncovered it. And she's like, "Oh my God, that's why. That's the deep reason why." So once it's up and out, then guess what? We get to work on it and we get to get rid of it. Anyway, the other thing is the emotional connections that can be really incredibly powerful in building your brand loyalty. Okay, so let's move on to number four, which is highlight challenges and triumphs. Okay, show authenticity. Don't shy away from sharing the struggles and the challenges that your brand has faced. Like I did earlier, like $500, and I was going to these meetups. Oh my God, it was painful. Um, authenticity, it builds trust and relatability, right? Because you're probably there, you might be there right now, I don't know, or maybe you've been there. So it's like, okay, we've all been there. Now how do I get to that next step? How do I get to that next level? So reach out, right? I'm here. Why reinvent the wheel? I'm here to help. And celebrate. Make sure that you celebrate your successes, highlight the milestones and the successes that your brand has achieved. So, and it doesn't have to be just helping your clients. Like what else? What else can you celebrate? That's one, that's great. But it really demonstrates resilience and progress. Like maybe it's hiring more people, or maybe it's inspiring somebody. Maybe they reached out and said, "Oh man," maybe it's, helping that person realize, like I just did again, right? I was highlighting that on that call, it was a free call. I helped her uncover what was really happening, right? And so that she could really, because sometimes it takes like a different perspective, an outside perspective, to see what's really going on. So anyway, it's inspiring for people to know these things. So I celebrate my wins all the time. I encourage my clients to celebrate their wins. You celebrate your wins too, because I'm sure there's a lot. Focus on that, because we always get more of what we focus on, positive or negative. Might as well focus on your wins. Get more of those. All right. And number five is keep it simple. Keep it simple, yet consistent. That's a huge one. So simplicity is key. Avoid overcomplicating things, overcomplicating your story. Keep it clear, concise, and focused on the core message that you really want to convey. I see a lot of people, especially like really intelligent people, really well-read people. I have a client that just the other day, she just, I think it was yesterday, the day before, she submitted her valuable free offer, her slides for me to go through. And I was just like, oh my gosh, she's so smart, and she's She's so intelligent. She's so well read. She's so well traveled that she speaks at a very intelligently, very high level, which is a great thing. But when it comes to marketing, you got to keep it simple. You got to keep it clear, concise, and simple, almost like at a fifth grade level. Okay, people just want to read it fast. They want to, keep it simple. And then maintaining that consistency. So ensuring that your brand story is consistent across all the platforms and communications. Okay. And consistency really reinforces your brand identity and it helps build a cohesive image. That's your brand, right? So it's not just the colors and the fonts and all this stuff. It's all of it. All right. So a good example of brand story structure. Okay, so I'll walk you through this brand story structure. You might want to pause this and get a pen and paper to take notes. But anyway, well, we're live right now, but when this is going to be on replay after. Number one, introduction. So just briefly introduce your brand and its core message. Number two is background. Share the original story, including the challenges faced and the motivations behind starting the brand. Number three is conflict. So describe the obstacles and struggles encountered along the way. Climax would be number four. So highlight the turning points or major achievements that really define your brand's success. And number five would be resolution. So explain how your brand continues to grow and make an impact and, end with a call to action that invites the audience to join in your journey, whatever that may be, like come join my group or book a call or CTA, call to action. All right. So those are the examples of brand story structure. And by following these tips, you can create a compelling brand story that really captivates your audience and it builds emotional connections and it fosters long-term loyalty. So as a bonus, I also want to share a little known strategy that helped one of my clients turn her business around and start making 18,000 a month and more actually. My client Shelly, okay, she gained clarity on how she could bundle her value to charge a premium, communicate her value effectively, and implement specific systems and strategies that transformed her business. Are you seeing a pattern here? Pattern, right? She was able to turn around her business. When she first called me, okay, she was, again, I do free calls with people to kind of get to the bottom of things. And I'm kind of like a doctor and a GPS combined, where I listen, I ask a bunch of questions, I gain a lot of clarity on what's the situation. And then I'm able to really take those symptoms, because they're symptoms, they're not the problem, and find out like what's the underlying problem, what's missing, what maybe has been done backwards to not be getting those results. And she called me and she was like, she was in the back room of her store. She has a brick and mortar. And she was on the brink of shutting down. She's like, I think she said she had maybe 3 months left before she had to shut the doors. And this was a dream of hers, to be able to have freedom and flexibility, a flexible schedule for her 2 kids. And she was beyond exhausted. She was lying in her back room crying every night because she just couldn't see a way. Right. Again, back to that employee versus empire mindset. A lot of people start a business, but they've never owned a business before. They don't know how to create a successful business. They've been trained their whole lives to be a worker, right? Our society teaches us to be employees. It teaches us to be workers. So how would she know? How would anybody know? And then what happens is they go into starting a business and they're like, create a job for themselves, first of all, because they're not clear on what are the systems and for marketing and operations to put into any business. They're all the same. There's a similar framework to any business. There's a foundation, very similar to building a house. I like to compare it to, because there's always a foundation, there's always framework, and there's always a roof, the roof being the website. And a lot of people start with that. They don't know how to build that foundation, a strong foundation to scale from. They don't clearly understand the framework of any successful business. And then every business is a little bit different. Like her business is a brick and mortar, where I have some clients most of my clients are coaches, consultants, and experts, right? She had a little consignment boutique that sold wedding dresses and prom dresses, things like that. Anyway, she was on the verge of shutting down and came on board with me. And then COVID struck too. And she still ended up making $18,000 for that month that COVID. And she did end up having to shut her store down. But I called her not that long ago and I was like, how are things going? I listened to our initial call where she was she's like, I just want to take my kids on a vacation. I just want to exercise. I want to sleep. Wasn't even getting any sleep. She wanted that flexibility to spend quality time with her kids. Anyway, I think a couple years had passed. I'm like, how's it going? Right. And she's like, oh my God, I can't remember how much, more than 18,000 last month. And we just got back from a trip to Nova Scotia or Hawaii. I can't remember. Either they just got back from Nova Scotia and we're going to Hawaii, or they just got back from Hawaii and we're going to Nova Scotia. One or the other. I can't remember. But anyway, and she was running a marathon. So I was like, hallelujah, it works, right? So anyway, if you're serious about transforming your business and achieving true freedom, then hit that subscribe button right now and don't miss out. Join my free masterclass where I reveal even more strategies, deeper strategies, these processes that I'm talking about here that my clients are using to make six figures with ease. Okay, spots are limited though, so sign up today. I'm going to put the link in the comments or in the description here, and maybe in the comments too. But send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram anytime, or for more personalized advice. Again, I can ask you some questions, even just over DM. You don't have to book a call if you don't want to. We can just, go back and forth in DM. I'm fine with that. Or book a call. Book a call. It's free. It's 45 minutes. You get one free call. I should be charging for them, but I don't, and I may in the future. So you might want to take me up on this now, but I call it a breakthrough session. Like, it's a major breakthrough. I had one call. One girl said she had such a breakthrough that she landed a client that was going to generate her $1 million over the time. She never became a client, but I was like, hey, whatever, that's fine. Happy for you. But yeah, we'll talk about current situation, dream situation, and like that GPS. I can give you the step-by-steps to take, the roadmap to take to get you from current situation to future dream situation. If I can help you get there, we can talk about that. We can talk about if we'd be a good fit to work together. If not, that's cool too. I will just send you to someone else that can help you that I might know. So let's get you started. Let's get you started on your path to financial freedom. So to recap, we covered how to streamline your business, automate key tasks, and position yourself as an industry leader. These strategies will set you on a path to financial freedom and the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of. So remember, the only thing standing between you and your success is action. So take it today and stay tuned for the next video where I'll share the exact steps to triple your client base in the next 90 days. So anyway, hope that was helpful. Again, if you're here, say hi in the comments and let me know. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns or anything. If you're stuck, if you're spinning your wheels, if you are throwing stuff up on the wall to see what sticks and not seeing the results. Again, I've been in this business a long time. I've seen it all. Reach out. All right. Take care, everyone.